Now, how do you cut a piece of wood which is thicker than your saw blade can cut normally on a single cut? Well, I've got a 235mm power saw, 9¼ inch, which will cut 67mm deep. This is 90mm deep. So I'll have to do it in 2 cuts. But instead of doing it in one deep cut and one shallow cut, I've actually dropped my saw blade to about 46mm above the table, so I can do 2 basically equal cuts that will meet in the middle. That will give you a better result, less of a step where the 2 cuts meet. Now, before double ripping any piece on edge like this, it's very important that you have this edge and this edge absolutely parallel and square to those faces. Reason being, you do the first cut sitting down on this edge and the second cut sitting down on this edge. If there's any error in any of the edges, your 2 cuts just won't line up. So make sure you dress that first, get it nice and square. To hold the work against the fence, I'm using the side pressure finger as before, and I won't be able to use the overhead guard and guard support for the simple reason that on the first cut, I'm only cutting halfway through and I've got all of this material uncut, and that would of course hang up on the edge of the overhead guard support. So for the first cut, I'm going to have to remove this, and I can just store it temporarily in this slot here. Now, to keep my fingers safe, I'm going to use this push stick that you've seen earlier with the little heel on the end and the extended toe to give you down holding pressure to hold the wood down. Because on this first cut, which is not a through cut, I haven't got saw blade teeth above the work tending to push the wood down on the table. On the contrary, the work will want to ride up on the saw blade, so this sort of push stick does the job of holding it down firmly. Having said all that, let's do it. Now, it's very important when turning the wood over that you don't rotate it as well, because that could increase the chance of an error if you haven't got your fence set to give you exactly dead center on the piece of wood. So just turn the piece of wood end for end. Now you can refit the safety guard. You really appreciate the dust collection system when you do a cut without it working. And now we're ready to go. The wood's a bit long to fit the captive push stick. I'll do that during the cut. I can sort of prepare it just there, it just hangs on. Back off away from the saw teeth, ready to go. And there you have it. Sorry, that way around. Virtually perfect. There is a slight step here. That is inevitable. You will get a tiny step where the 2 cuts meet up. But if this was my important piece, I could put this through again, perhaps with a slight fence readjustment, and then do just a finishing cut, a shaving cut, to clean up that tiny little step there.